Welcome back to the channel. Today we are learning openings. So let's start. Openings are the first part of chess. Like for example, you can do an opening like this, and then your opponent will play something like this. It's the most important thing is when you're doing your opening, you want to bring your opening into the four centers. This is the most important squares of the game. Then you want to advance and advance your pieces and make sure you have a winning advantage. Like my favorite move opening is this. They bring it up. If they do this, you take, of course. This Scandinavian defense. We can talk about defense in a different video. But if we're doing openings, then my favorite opening would be advance. They make a random move. This is called the London system. Bishop. Well, this is the bishop opening. The London system's actually the other way around. But I like the bishop opening better, because then if I'm playing like a beginner and I want to win quickly on chess.com, I can play like they make a move like let's just say they make a move like this. I can go for a scholar's mate, and then they cannot move this. They can either block it like this, but the thing is that's a checkmate, so don't block it like that. Don't move the knight. That's a trick. If you want to defend against this, if you ever see this coming, don't make this move. Even though a lot of books say to make this move, look what happens. I take this to check. You can either block like this, or you can block like this, right? But don't make this move, because look, even if you block, guess what happens? Bam. And I decimate this whole row. So don't do that. Don't make this move. This is a bad move. So if I take this, if you block with the knight, look what happens. That's a check, and that's, you move here, you're literally decimating the whole thing, and then take. You're gonna be winning by +9. So to defend against this, what you do is, this might surprise you, but you actually bring your queen over here. This is because you cannot take over here. Look, and the black is winning by +2. So that's why this is very good. And if you take here, that's easy. Another move you can do, I guess, is from the beginning, like if I do this, instead of making bishop over there, you can do this. So it prevents the guy from moving here. But how would you know this guy's going to do scholar mate? That's a trick. So, yeah. The best move to prevent this is to not bring out your knight, but to bring out your queen to protect this square and this square. Very important. Okay, so that's one opening. I like to do the bishop opening. Yeah. You can also do the London like this. Guy advances, and you bring this out. It's very complicated openings. Like sometimes it depends. It's kind of intuitive. So like if a guy plays like this, okay. If I play like this, right? And then the person plays Scandinavian, sometimes also you gotta be careful what the opponent is playing, because sometimes they do like defenses or gambit for black, and then they take back, and I'll lead into a better position. So yeah, that you can do that. So make sure you know what you're doing, because like sometimes if you just play random moves, like play a random move like this, if you take it, you gotta be careful. Like yeah, because like for example, there's an English opening for black, which is this. Let me flip the board. Okay, so your opponent plays this, you play this, he takes, and then I move over here. He brings it out. Guess what happens? And then he might bring it out here, or no, he might. Yeah, he might like. I don't know. He might do this, right? Okay, he might. He might. So he has to defend it, right? So he blocks it. Actually, no, he blocks it with like this. This is English. This is an English opening for black. Black will take this, and then if you just leave it right here and make it like a random move, look what happens. That's the problem. So that's why you got to be careful for gambits. What they could have done is they could have brought it. If you make this move, you can bring it here, but then guess what happens? You bring it here. If you take, that's not possible because it's going to be a check. So they usually what they would do is they bring it here. What happens? They take checkmate. That's checkmate. Exactly. So that's why you got to be careful of what you're doing. So don't like just if it's open, you don't have to take it. Think about your move. Think of what your opponent is gonna do if you make a move. So there's a London opening, which is this. There is a bishop opening, the other side. You bring that there. There's the center game, which is you bring 2. There's also like a 4 knights variation. What I actually use very often is I bring this up. They bring a random move, bring it here, and they play this. Now, this is also the name of the channel, Tricky London, but it technically should be I'm bringing this knight up and the bishop's supposed to be here. But what I always do and I always like to do is this. It attacks this pawn. So your opponent has no choice but to either defend or do this move to defend this pawn. Anyways. And then after they make this move, right? To defend, I'm going to make this move. 4 knights. Well, it's 2 knights, but your opponent has to play the 4th knight. Then it's 4 knights game. This is very important. This is what I always like to do. 4 knights variation with my, and then maybe I might even like, if your opponent plays this first, right? Okay. If your opponent plays, you play like this, your opponent plays this. Wait. Your opponent plays this. Okay, you make a move like you make a move like I don't know, like this, right? Your opponent plays this to attack this. If your black is the one pushing, trying to like take something, right? You want to defend your most important thing is defend your pieces while also advancing. So look, this is the smartest move rather than this. You know why? Because look, you're defending it while also getting this open. So then the next move comes. He plays this. Look what happens. And then I would take with that because you don't want a 2 pawns over your. You don't want stack pawns. So that is why you should bring this up instead of bringing this. It depends on the situation. You just gotta practice and keep on playing. Also, very important thing to remember. Whenever you're trading in openings, or it doesn't even have to be openings, remember, the rook is worth 5. Each rook is worth 5. So total you have, I think, yeah, so 5, that's already 10. These are worth the same. The knight and the bishop are both worth the same. 3, the queen is worth 9. 2 rooks are worth more than 1 queen because 2 rooks can easily beat a queen. Like, for example, okay, let's just make a move, right? If he brings this out, right, then you start bringing it up, right? Okay, here, let me do this. And then, it doesn't really matter. I bring this up. I can trap, if you get the point, but I can trap the queen into, like, look. She brings that up and that. There's this and this. So there's two, yeah, that's why a queen is worth less than two rooks. So anyways, it's very important to keep track of what the actual your actual pieces is worth. So just as a summary, this is worth 5, the knight is worth 3, bishop is worth 3, queen is worth 9, king is worth the whole game, of course, and then same thing, each pawn is worth 1. So total you have 8 plus 10, 28, 28 plus 12, which is 40, 49, 49. Everything is 49. Your whole thing is 49. 8, 10, 18, 18 plus 18 plus 12, which is 30, 30 plus, okay, 39, my bad. But anyways, very important to know what you're doing on your opening. There's a ton of other openings, and there's also lots of gambit, but we'll talk about that in the next video. So make sure all in all, make sure you know what you're doing for your openings. And if you see a pawn open or like a piece open, like remember, don't just take, because like for example, like look, he makes a move like this, and then your opponent makes a move like this, and then you make a move like this. Look, if you take this, your opponent's gonna take back, right? So it's important not to just take any piece you see. You can also let your opponent take, you take back, he takes this, and then you're gonna win. So that is very important. It's very intuitive.